Hi, Scorpios, and welcome to your December 2020 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky here to talk to you about the energies coming in for your month. Welcome back, Scorpios. I hope you're feeling great. If the reading resonates for you, be sure to hit that subscribe button if you are not already subscribed. I'm looking forward to looking into the energies for you. So as I've been meditating on your energy, I have a feeling that there's something a bit unexpected coming up. As you know, we're having this new wave, Jupiter-Saturn conjunct in Aquarius during the third week, right at the solstice. And that's going to really introduce some strong, sort of powerful electric Uranus energy, which you are already quite familiar with, as Uranus has been transiting on your axis in your opposite sign of Taurus for about the last 4 years. So it's going to kind of amp up this buzzing that you've been feeling energetically, and this even the potential to be very frenetic or even like a neurotic with that energy. So it's going to kind of be a testing month when it comes to your calmness, when it comes to your tranquility, when it comes to your ability to accept the satisfaction that you can have, or to accept that things are okay, to not worry, to not freak out, to not get too worried about things. Like your ability to worry or not is going to come up in the month of December. And there are just going to be a few things that are kind of like unexpected, I think, but they're also ideal. So ideal, unexpected things is basically the energy that I'm feeling for you. Though you are going to be taking stock a lot in December, you're going to be sort of in summary mode. You're going to be summing up where you've been and if it's worth it to continue on in the stride that you've created for yourself. And you're going to be also deciding the worth and the value of certain pursuits that you've had in your life too. This Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto in Capricorn has been good for Scorpio in a way, depending on what house it's fallen in, because that can kind of change it up a little bit. But that sextile angle has really made you focus on your own personal power, on your own purpose, on your own ascension in life, like where you want to be in the world, who you want to be. All that stuff has actually been very natural and easy for you to understand. But can you now get it into the material during these last few moments of this transit and prepare to really transmute or transfer the energy from one place to another, as you kind of are probably going to go into a transformational phase at the beginning of 2021. Now, we are moving into the fixed sign of Aquarius with Jupiter and Saturn. So there's something that is kind of set about what you're taking on right now, yet it has a flexibility about it. Even though you might know exactly what you're putting your time to, there's a flexibility about how that comes off, or about what it can be in the future. There's an alchemical sense of being able to have choices or options in front of you, regarding career or what your energy focus is. And I bet that it's more flexible than you think it is. It seems like Scorpio is very worried of getting like rigid, or very worried of being unadaptable, though it's more adaptable than you realize. And there are going to be reminders throughout December of how adaptable what you're doing is. Okay, so let's talk about you've got 10 of Swords coming up. It's come up for a lot of people this month because we are in an ending phase, obviously. We are coming out of a traumatic energy signature of Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto conjunct in Capricorn. And for some of us, it's really manifest, like what that looks like. It can feel like the culmination of 2020 was like a betrayal or a breakup or a splitting of some kind. With Five of Pentacles reversed, it's like maybe some of you are in a bit of a deficit. Maybe some of you have had to like take on debt or take on, more expenses than you expected to get by. I definitely see a revision of your budget, or revision of what you're budgeting time, money, and energy to, more so than any other sign. I see this for Scorpio, because something is out of whack there, perhaps. And maybe you've already focused on it. Some Scorpios have probably already got it in the bag. But with Queen of Pentacles coming up also, it's like you've got to really find a budget and an expression of how your energy culminates that works more appropriately for you. So I do see like a potential move. I see finding better surroundings, more appropriate living seems to be really vital for Scorpio, because I'm sensing, for Scorpios, all the water signs, but everyone to a degree, the home and the living quarters are very representative of where we're at energetically, like emotionally, financially, all of that stuff. And that is definitely needing a glance in December. All right. We have an easy time of making changes right now, especially by the end of the month. And I think we have to take the bull by the horns too with that, like, okay, will we have as much time or as much freedom to make changes? Maybe, but let's, if we need those changes, definitely focus on that now. Because you are taking stock, as I said, 7 of Pentacles coming up, Queen of Pentacles. The positive side of this, and with Judgment is your only major arcana card as well. The positive side of this is that you can really see a good opportunity. You can really know what's appropriate. You can, within your means, have the right standard of living or the right health or the right financial circumstance come in really easily. So that's the positive of this month. It's just like really good circumstances that are available, like good circumstances, possible, affordable, open there for you to take. Now you have more reversals, I think, than any other sign did this month. 3 of Cups, 2 of Swords, and 5 of Pentacles as reversals. So I do like 5 of Pentacles reversed. To me, it says we're not taking the cold road anymore. We're not going to put ourselves through, a feeling of lack so that we can just, stock up or feel prepared. Like, we're done with deprivation, I think, as Scorpio people. That would have been something prevalent this year for many Scorpios, is a sense of deprivation, a sense of hunger, or a sense of feeling like broke or feeling anything like that. That's going to end this month, but it's going to have to be focused before it ends, but it's on its way out. Also, boundaries is out of whack for Scorpios too. So boundaries with strangers, boundaries with loved ones, boundaries in general feel to me to be out of whack. So definitely look at that. Like, are you blocking out people who don't need to be blocked out? Are you letting in people who don't need to be let in? Revise those boundaries if you need to. 3 of Cups reversed. Watch out for gossip. Watch out for trusting people who are not to be trusted. Okay, trust, boundaries, budgeting, all of those things are going to need to be looked at in December. And okay, Scorpio, let me tell you something important also. Sagittarius season, so the first 3 weeks of December, I think things have to be easier. I really feel like you're a bit overdone and over-energized, and I really don't want you to get to like March of 2021 and into like tax season and be like, I can't do this anymore. I can't keep up with this job. I can't keep up with this industry. I can't, continue on. Like, it's not really even the energy of a burnout. I want to distinguish this. It's not really feeling burnt out to me. It's more so feeling like, what would I say? Stale or too rigid or too regimented. Something is like, and that has its positives, and there are places where that's needed to be the case in your life. So you've learned a lesson about regimentation, about routine, about accountability. Those things have really clicked into place for you, and now you need to get a little bit more flexible with yourself, I think, and think about ways that you can optimize what you're doing. Okay, thinking about ways that things can get easier, thinking about ways to make every expenditure of time, money, and energy as something good and needed and right, and not on impulse but helpful. Okay, it's actually not a bad time for like a hiatus or some type of getaway or something in the beginning of December. Judgment and 4 of Swords. We'll just go ahead and jump straight into the week to week on that note. First week of December, you have Judgment, and that being rooted down by 4 of Swords. You're going to more so get a clearer picture of what you need to focus toward and where you need to put your energy through rest and recovery than you are through striving. So how much have you strived over the last year? Are you still striving for something? Calm it down a little bit, get it a little bit easier, get things a little bit more relaxed. Get your routine being something more relaxed than something more rigid, and you'll really start to get the perfect download of insight that you've needed. Also, I think that if you're not taking time off in Sagittarius season, it needs to be planned in Sagittarius season. So I know that, not all of us can just be like, okay, I'm taking a 2-week vacation now. If you're not doing it now, plan one. You've got to kind of look towards some type of recovery mode or look towards some type of relaxation to make what you're doing worth it, it feels like. So that also should be front and center. Like, why is what we're currently doing not feeling worth it? Anything along those lines. Like, maybe there's a better place to be focusing purpose and energy. Maybe there's a more optimized way of doing things, all of that. Also, Four of Swords has been coming up for a lot of people this month. And Four of Swords can indicate illness. And, with the status of things right now, beware of, I guess, like crowded spaces or anything like that. I mean, maybe it's like a flu season too or something, who knows. But anything like autoimmune disease, any type of, ailment has to be considered to be possible. And of course, not making that a self-fulfilling prophecy, but we have to take means, I think. We have to take austerities, or we have to take some type of, like, what do I want to say? Sagittarius season is tough this year. Sagittarius season is weird because it is like Jupiter rules Sagittarius, and it leaves its debilitated least favorite sign of Capricorn right after Sagittarius season ends. So there's a weird type of sadness about that timing. So I feel like Sagittarius season can be a bit inauspicious in that way, and we all just have to consider it. So try to keep things safe, keep things easy, keep things low-lying, spending time with yourself, just breathing it out, walking it off, keeping yourself meditative, and not getting so, like, frenetic and buzzy and pacing around. Like, any type of pacing, any type of, like, inability to keep your mind focused in one place, buzzing around, Uranian energy, if it's not feeling like a comfort, like, wow, I'm getting all these great ideas, wow, I finally know how to fix these problems, I finally have the creative solution to this issue. If it's more so like, oh my gosh, I can't focus my mind, I can't fall asleep, I'm out of control of my body, like anything like that, we're kind of in emergency mode, okay, to get the routine, the health, the addictions, all that buzzing around in order. And the first week of December will give you the insight, the final insight to get that right and really be able to focus as well. Anyway, second week, you have Seven of Pentacles rooted down by Two of Swords reversed. So the second week will lead you to take stock of where you've finally come. Saturn's been in Capricorn for the last 3 years at that time, and that's good for Scorpio. The time period of Saturn in Capricorn is really, really important in a Scorpio's journey around the sun, So these last 3 years have been vital in teaching you about, like, responsibility, accountability, money, career, authority. All of those things should have really gotten in order over the last 3 years. So take stock of what you've gained through those concepts and understand how you want that to all work with you in this next 3 years of Saturn. Because Saturn in Aquarius for Scorpio is a little bit more, it's not quite as blessed, actually. I mean, it's still good, it's not bad, but the Aquarius to Scorpio square can be anxious. It can be uncomfortable. There are way worse angles than the Scorpio Aquarius square, but it can get too, like, mental and too, like, in its own head, and you can probably already feel that coming on to a degree. And we have, like, a choice right as it begins. Like, okay, am I going to be in my head about all of this? Am I going to, hold this all in and put myself through an inordinate amount of mental gymnastics? Or am I going to, like, channel this out? Am I going to trust God? Am I going to trust the universe? Am I going to trust that I've made the best effort that I can to do things in the most, integrity-based way for everybody, and that's just going to have to be that. What an incredible time to have, like, trust in something higher than yourself, okay? That's important. So taking that spiritual stock, maybe. With that being rooted down by Two of Swords reversed, it's like you are, it seems like the one thing that you are not satisfied with about how far you've come is within boundaries. And I don't just mean your own boundaries. I mean, maybe even other people's boundaries to you. It feels like you've really become Saturnine, and you've really maybe surrounded yourself with, like, walls. That has to be dialed in a new way. I think it's like you've got to maybe get a more smart form of boundaries. So not cement walls, but also not, like, nothing, a better, I guess, force field, or a better bubble of white light or something that helps you to feel safer energetically. That's only going to make sense to some people. But anyway, week number 3, you have 3 of Cups reversed, rooted down by 5 of Pentacles reversed. So gossip and support networks are coming up in the third week of December. So this is the winter solstice time. This is when the conjunction happens. And what I'm feeling is it's like you're taking the role of other people, or you're having to be like this cohesive unit within relationships. Like you're like sort of the strand that's holding certain people together. So it's like Scorpio has fallen into the middle of rifts, or like if there are estrangements or rifts in families, it's like Scorpio is between both of them and not on either side of it. And in a way, they're trying to like fill that break. It's very noble, but you got to watch out for it. It could kind of backfire a little bit. I recommend more detachment from, and that's tough to say, even thinking of my own experience. That's not what I would have expected to come up, because my thought, from my more conscious mind is like, okay, we've got to really be family focused. We've got to keep the family unit healthy. We've got to do everything it takes with that late Capricorn energy to be like stronger with our families, And that is always good, though. Watch out for taking a very personalized role in that, or, really expressing too much around what you think a vision of like the family should be, or what you think a vision of the company should be, or whatever it is, because there's something about it that backfires a little bit. You got to watch out for it with this square coming on. With squares are always like this. Your very direct, deliberate actions can backfire a little bit. So that's why it's been great in this Capricorn time with the sextile, to just like let things be and kind of experiment a little bit. It all kind of works itself out. Though third week of December, focus more on your path. It's your own path that really needs effort right now. You don't need to watch out for becoming too subservient to others or trying to fix other people's problems. That's getting you out of your own territory, all right? It's kind of like what I'm hearing is stay in your lane, Scorpio. That's what I'm hearing. And I haven't liked to hear that. And I've heard this over the last few months, actually, here and there. It's like, stay in your lane. And I'm like, I don't want to hear that. I don't like being told what to do. It's like that type of thing. But I'm seeing that reflected in this reading again, like keep things as simple as possible. Keep things, even small and meek is okay, at that transition point. And we can go big with things once the Aquarius energy gets a little bit more focused. But keep things in your lane for now, if you can, and think more about what a healthy expansion looks like versus trying to, win battles for other people or be like that one cohesive unit that keeps like people together. Sometimes there are momentums that it's not up to a Scorpio to divert or manipulate. All right. And Scorpios have a tough time with this. And I'm seeing that that's a little bit what the Aquarius Scorpio square is about too, is the manipulation of momentums and collective momentums, and then family momentums and things that deal with like multiple individuals. And you might think that you're doing the right thing, or you might think that you're like being the hero, or you're trying to do like the more inspirational thing. I mean, and then there are some Scorpios who might kind of be like a destructive force, who are trying to maybe be more destructive, though I doubt that is many. But anything, whether it's good, bad, whatever, anything that deals with changing people's opinions of others or bringing people together or apart, that's not a good territory for Scorpio right now. It's a disruption of the natural momentum of things. We've got to let things fall where they lay. Okay, fourth week, you have Queen of Pentacles rooted down by 10 of Swords. Okay, this is important. I've been saying this a lot over on Patreon lately, and this is like kind of collective, but it's very Scorpio too. Anything regarding health or about routines, time management, what is going into the body, diet, we have kind of like one last chance there to really work on that and finish up any type of negative habits with that. Again, also spending, eating habits, all of that has got to feel perfect. Not perfect, but it's got to feel right. It's got to feel healthy. And nothing needs to be perfect, actually, right now. There's really no such thing as perfection, is there? But if this sort of relationship with impulse that has played such a large role in Scorpio's life over the last few years, and the desperation for comfort based on living mundane experiences that are very rarely comfortable, and then the compensation to that is about desperately having for a small amount of time a sense of comfort, which can be like binge eating or any type of addiction or sleep disorders, things like that. The fourth week of December is a chance to totally fix those things. With the Jupiter-Saturn conjunct, you see, it's a reset. Jupiter and Saturn conjunct in Aquarius is a reset. So we can reset our circadian rhythms, we can reset our dietary habits, we can reset the chemical structures of our bodies. Sometimes that introduces a bit of chaos, I will warn you, because again, it's a disruption of momentum. But that's what a Jupiter-Saturn conjunction is also about. It is a disruption of momentum, and it's a reset of momentum. It's a karmic zero. It's a push forward into a new wave and a new way of living and experiencing life. You know, if there's any type of betrayal or if there's any type of like backstabbing, you know, Ten of Swords has been coming up so much, and I still don't quite understand it. I'm getting chills right as I'm talking about it because it doesn't feel contextual to me. Psychically, I'm not really understanding what that's about. Maybe it's just kind of occupying a different territory. Maybe this just means, you know, ending phase, you know, before a reset, there's an ending phase. Maybe that's what it's about. But if any of this like backstabbing becomes manifest, it's probably an old blocked energy trying to work its way out. So like clogged drains or anything that's blocked. I talked a little bit about this in Libra's reading also. You know, any health issues that relate to blockages, so cardiovascular or digestive or anything along those lines, that's probably going to really work itself out by that time if it hasn't already. And with that working itself out, it's sometimes not pretty, you know, it's not pretty. When we think of issues relating to any type of blockage in the human body, I mean, we're talking about not great things, you know, whether it's digestive or cancerous or arterial, like whatever. Those are usually pretty big complications, and energetically is exactly the same. I'm not saying that anybody has those health issues. That's really not what I'm feeling. I'm just trying to give an analogy into what blockages in this dimension are like, and they take a long time to build up. They take a long time to become prevalent. But once they do, you know, as any of you know who have had like a bad like blocked shower drain or something, like once it gets blocked, sometimes it takes like horrendous acids and horrendous chemicals, and it's risky business to clear out those blockages, or it's an expensive plumber bill, and then even then you're not sure if it's going to get resolved. Scorpio rules over all these types of things, you know, like drains and hidden blockages and things like that. This is all Scorpio ruled territory. And Aquarius is an air sign, so it's meant to get things really cleared out and to have like air and to have you know, none of this dark, earthy material blockage. So that's really what's happening to you this month, Scorpio, is a blockage is clearing out, okay? And it's happening, it seems to me, at every single level to some degree. Energetically, maybe a relationship blockage, maybe a blockage that's resulting in an addiction when it comes to thought patterns and coping mechanisms. Also the clearing of a coping mechanism. So 10 of Swords, 5 of Pentacles, 4 of Swords. It's just part of the Scorpio condition, I guess. There's a little bit of a hiccup maybe to go through, or there's a bit of a cold road that we just have to see to know what we don't want in life. But I don't want to freak you guys out. There are good things too this month. There's a comfortable place for you to take stock. There's a level of health that maybe you haven't had in a long time that comes back. There's also, you know, judgment is a very scorpionic energy too. Like something is revived, something is restored, some kind of purpose is now available to pursue once more. So anyway, Scorpio, on that note, we've kind of gone on for a while. I'm going to be doing an extended reading over on Patreon, and that will be linked in the center of your screen and below. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button, and your likes and comments make my day as well. So let's jump over to Patreon for the extended. I'll pull a central theme and 2 supporting themes, and we'll kind of understand a little bit more of what's coming up here. So let's do that now. See you later, Scorpios. Bye.